Hello, and welcome to this week's Question of the Week. This week, a listener asks, why did Rachel steal the images? Chris goes to the Bible to answer this good question, and enjoy the discussion.
Welcome to our open forum program. Please go ahead with your call.
Hi, Chris. Could we please go to Genesis 31, verse 19, as well as 34?
Genesis 31, 19, and verse 34. Verse 19, and Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the images that were her father's. And verse 34, now Rachel had taken the images and put them in the camel's furniture and sat upon them, and Laban searched all the tent but found them not.
So I'm wondering, why was it that Rachel chose to steal the images?
Well, that's a good question. At that time, these kinds of images were fairly common, and people would set them up in their homes, and they would credit these false gods or these idols when things went well. And all the time that Jacob was serving Laban, everything went well in the house of Laban. And Rachel, when we read the Bible, doesn't give too much evidence of having truly been saved. I'm not saying she wasn't saved, but we read things like that. We read of her struggles with her sister Leah, her envy, her demands upon Jacob, give me a child, or else I die. And we don't find too much to indicate she was a true child of God. But again, that's our estimate, and it doesn't impact her at all. If God did save her, it wouldn't matter. But I'm just saying, in general, when you look at her life, although she does typify the elect in the sense that Jacob loved her and hated Leah. Jacob is a figure of Christ. And just like Christ loved Jacob and hated Esau, well, here Jacob, himself a type of Christ, loved Rachel and hated Leah. And it turns out that finally the number of children that Leah would have, she would have 6 herself, and her handmaid would have 2. So Leah would have 8, and Rachel would bear 2, and her handmaid 2, and she would have 4. And we see that 1/3, 2/3 relationship that the Bible speaks of, where God says, I'll bring 1/3 through the fire, and 2/3 will be cut off. And so we see Leah is spoken of as being hated, and she also has 2/3 of the 12 children, or at least 8 are credited to her. And Rachel is said to be loved, and she claims to be mother of 4 of the children, 1/3. So even though she's a figure of the elect, there's definite questions concerning, was she really saved? And this would be an action that an unsaved person would take, to take the idols, to hide them, it's just hard to explain why she did this, except, well, she sinned. She sinned, and she had some part of her that desired something more than the God of the Bible.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. That way you don't miss any upcoming videos.